Hey everybody, I decided to come back and do another video because I feel like there's a lot of overwhelming emotions going on. I know it has, but I think over the last few days, it's like every new change that happens seems to be overwhelming everyone. So I came on with a few topics that you guys had like asked for and have told me that maybe I could speak a little bit on. And the first thing was like understanding a new normal. I personally went through that when I had cancer, kind of adapting to a new normal or our new way of life was extremely hard for me, and it took time. That's the best advice I could give you, is just give it time. None of us have been through this. All of us are in the same boat. No one is better nor worse than anyone else. No one has experienced more pain than anyone else. I mean, I'm sure there are more difficult situations, but pain-wise, I think we're all on pretty much the same threshold. Lack of understanding. And maybe let me clarify a little bit. I think just because you live in like a higher status quo doesn't take away your emotions. The emotions are always equal. Like, we all feel pain, we all feel anger, we all feel uncomfortable, we all feel sadness and confusion, all the same. It doesn't matter our social status. So this is just us adapting to a new normal. What helped me get through it was having conversations, feeling like other people understood me. During that time frame, I went to a therapist, funny enough, and it really helped with me just trying to do things that kind of kept normal, which kind of brings me to the next thing is stay focused on a schedule. I know I said this in the last video, but honestly, scheduling and setting time apart for other things, like for where things should be and how they should go, will definitely help you when it comes to understanding and kind of seeking that normalcy. So that's one thing. The other thing was like I'm really big on boundaries. If you know me, I'm constantly talking about boundaries. I'm constantly talking about vocalizing what works for you and what doesn't work for you. During this time frame, boundaries is a huge must. Why? Because everyone's losing it, right? Everyone's super overwhelmed. Everyone is demanding things from others. And for example, like even at work, right? Sometimes they're gonna ask like, hey, can we have a meeting at 8 p.m.? Why are we having a meeting at 8 p.m.? I need, like, I'm trying to keep some sort of normalcy. Oh, but it's okay, since you're home, you're not really doing anything. And that's a huge misconception. Just because I'm home doesn't mean that I'm not doing anything. As a matter of fact, now my home is my workspace. And now there is no definition, no clear boundary on that. So I think it's very important that we vocalize to our bosses, right, and our employees and the other people around us, like, listen, I'm doing the best I can. I will get to you when I can get to you. I have a million other things that I have to sort out. So give me time and I'll get to everything that I'm going to get to. Speaking your voice and making sure that people understand where you're coming from and where you're at is extremely important, especially during this time frame. Boundaries, boundaries, boundaries. Let people know how you feel. It doesn't have to be come off negative, and some people may take it negative because they're not used to you putting boundaries down, but this is the time to do that, you know um some people who are in very difficult situations at home can't, but I find that taking a day at a time, going out and taking a walk, having a moment to just kind of breathe, you know uh asking for some space, going to your bathroom. I mean, listen, if you're in a studio apartment, go to your bathroom, lock the door, stay there for a little bit, take a shower, do whatever kind of allows you to, I guess, give yourself some personal space. And I think that that's very important during this time frame. On the other side, on the flip side, right, one of my clients was saying to me that she's kind of overwhelmed because she has too much time, which I thought that was really, really interesting. I'm like, what do you mean you have too much time? She's like, it's so much time, and now there's like an expectation that, oh, because we have all this free time, that we're gonna become all the things that we wanted to do. And I was like, you know what? That's actually really interesting. I didn't really think about it that way. And I'm like, I don't think you have to be anything you want to be or anything you don't want to be. You kind of just be whatever you want to be. Um, Take the time frame maybe to just get to know yourself. And that's kind of like how I put it to her. I was like, you don't have to be extra on anything. And if you do something, just let it be a space in which you can get to know yourself. Because that's what I think this time frame is about. Get to know yourself, get to know your family. Another thing I touched upon was taking the time to self-care. This is the perfect time to do that. If you didn't take care of your skin because you said that you didn't have enough time, do it now. If you never took time to like put some lotion on your body, to kind of just really take time to cater to yourself and your body, because your body is the only one you got. I think this is a perfect time to do so. So take the time to do that. Take the time to get to know yourself externally and internally. This is the time to do it, right? Um, I also felt, right, the last thing was about being connected or feeling disconnected from the people that you're with, right? I feel like this goes both ways. One minute you're gonna be feeling like super connected. You're like, wow, like we never had the time to sit down and talk. We didn't have the time to sit down and connect in this way. And now that we have the time to do so, this is great. But on the flip side, there could be like, damn, I think I've spent so much time at work, or I think I spent so much time doing a million other things. Taking this time to kind of sit with you, I've realized how disconnected we are. And I think, again, this is a process. All of this, everything that's happening is a process. You got to process your emotions. You got to help others process their emotions. And sometimes it's difficult to do simultaneously at the same time. So take time for yourself. And then when you're done processing, make sure that you communicate. Because that's been the other thing that's been talking. Being very clear and communicative about where you're at. I'm a big believer that, like, if you're feeling any type of way, just say it. Like, hey, look, I own where I'm at today. Today I feel like a fucking bitch and I'm really sorry. And excuse my French, but I'm very transparent. um and then on the flip side, the other part could be like, I feel like I'm emotional. Like I want to cry. I need a minute. Like I need to soothe myself. Whether it is like I just want to wrap myself in my blanket and just sleep, or I just need a minute to kind of like think through my thoughts. I also find something that's very therapeutic is like doing the motion of like washing your face and just kind of like taking a deep breath, and sometimes cry it out, like, and if you're crying and you don't want others to know, just be like, listen, I just need a minute, and if I'm crying, just give me the space to do that. Owning your feelings, owning where you're at, that's what you need to do. And be patient, be kind, be understanding, not to yourself but to others. Please, because I think too often we're so hard on ourselves and even harder on other people if we're irritated. So come back down to who you are, remain calm, and any other questions, advice, topics you would like me to touch upon, let me know. I think the next one might be a little bit more deeper when it comes to like couples and stuff like that. But if you have any suggestions, please let me know. Thank you for tuning in again. Take care, guys. Bye.